Hello everyone and welcome back to Hannah's Happy Home. Today's video is going to be my office makeover. We are starting all the way back when we first purchased this fixer-upper house. This is what this room looked like. There was red stained concrete floors, a really heavy texture on the walls. So in this video, I'm going to take you through the whole entire process of how we transformed this room from start to finish, and at the very end of this video, you will be able to see the official before and after clips, and it is a huge transformation that you don't want to miss. So we started by removing everything from the room. We took the curtain off the window, removed all of the trim on the floor around the door, took the door off, the receptacle covers, the switch covers, and then like I said in previous videos, we hired a contractor to come in and get rid of that heavy texture that was on the walls. They smoothed that down, re-mudded the walls, and then did a lighter texture on these walls, primed and painted everything. We installed new doors and handles and hinges. Then a local carpet company came in and installed carpet. My husband Jalen installed all of the trim and new receptacles and switches. After that, we pretty much didn't do anything in this room for a little over a year. We just left it like that. I put this white desk in here and I used this as an office and also a storage room. So we just wanted to transform this room even more and just make it into a really great office space. The goal was just to make it into a space that would be very inspiring to work in. We wanted to do an accent wall on this far wall here. So the first thing to do was to install a light fixture in here, because after a year we still hadn't installed a light fixture yet. I just had a lamp in the corner. So we installed this pendant light from Article, and then we cleared everything out of the room so that we could get started on the accent wall and set up some new furniture. Now we are starting on the accent wall, which turned out so amazing. So first off, we took our measurements and then Jalen cut the plywood, and he's basically using the thinnest plywood that you can buy. I'll have the exact measurements of this plywood and the boards that we used come up here on the screen in case you want to do this project yourself. So he cut his first piece of plywood, we brought that inside, and then he took the trim off the floor here in the room just on this back wall so that we could have the boards that we were using for the accent wall, we could have one down on the bottom as well. And it worked out perfect because that piece of floor trim that we took off here in the office is going to be just enough floor trim for the master bathroom, so we can reuse that. We won't have to buy trim for the master bathroom, which is awesome. Jalen used his oscillating tool to notch out a little bit of the trim on either side so that we could slide that bottom board right in behind the trim. And then he continued on installing this thin plywood on the back wall, and then we'll get started installing the boards. I also wanted to mention that we have a room makeover video for every room in our entire house. We've been renovating this house for over a year now, and we filmed the whole entire process. So all of those videos are over on my YouTube channel, and we're going to continue working on this house and other projects in the future. So be sure that you're subscribed. Now that the plywood's done, we can get started on the boards. And like I shared over on Instagram, I got these boards from Lowe's, and instead of getting just like the 3-inch pine boards, I ended up getting the 3-inch MDF boards. These are primed MDF boards. They were a little bit cheaper, I think maybe $1 or $2 cheaper per board, and also they're just a little bit easier to work with on a project like this. They just work out great. So I did go ahead and paint the bottom boards before we put those up, just so that I wouldn't have to paint up against the carpet, and then the rest of the boards we just taped and painted those after they were installed. Jalen got all of the boards cut to size, and now he's getting those nailed up on the wall. We're doing the long vertical boards first, and then we'll put in the smaller horizontal boards. So we did 6 of the big boards going across vertically to make 5 spaces, and then for the smaller boards that'll go horizontal, we're going to do 3 squares down in each of the 5 spaces. I got the idea for this pattern off of Pinterest. We couldn't make up our mind for a little while on which pattern that we wanted to go with, but we're so glad that we ended up going with this one. It turned out amazing. We love it so much that we want to do more accent walls in the house. We were laughing that every room is going to have an accent wall after this because we just love how it transformed the room. The boards are all on the wall. It's starting to take shape. The next step, Jalen had to tape the edge and then start applying the caulking. He had to do the caulking around the whole outside edge and then also all the edges inside each of the squares. So this took a little while here, but he did such an awesome job on this accent wall. I just showed him the picture on Pinterest, and then he came up with all the measurements. He made this wall come to life. He is amazing. The color I went with is Peppercorn by Sherwin-Williams, and I got it in an eggshell finish, and it was just the perfect dark gray color for this wall. It added a moody element to the room and just made it really cozy in here. So we took the paintbrush and did all of the edges, and then we came in with a foam roller to do the inside of the squares and also the board. You want to use a foam roller on your accent wall so that you can get a nice smooth finish. This paint was a paint and primer in one, so it was a nice thick paint, and we only had to do a second coat on a few of the squares. One of my most asked questions lately is which room in the house will be the nursery, and this room will probably end up being the nursery someday, but we're probably not going to set that up until the baby's about 4 or 5 months old, because the baby will be sleeping in our room until about 5 months old. But we did keep that in mind when designing this room. We made sure that the accent wall would also work to put a crib up against. I would also leave the rug and the light fixture, the curtain, all of that in here for a nursery. So we're keeping that in mind, but who knows, at that point when the baby is 4 or 5 months old, we might have changed our mind by then and the nursery might be in a different room for all we know. But as of now, this room will probably end up being the nursery someday. This rug is from Boutique Rugs. It's called the Haymond rug, and I got it in the size 6x9. When I unrolled this, it was just like my mood board for this room had come to life. This rug was absolutely perfect in here. The colors and everything with this accent wall, it couldn't have been more perfect. I'll put my mood board here up on the screen that I made. I usually make my mood boards over on PicMonkey. It just kind of helps me to visualize the room put together before I order everything and before we dive into the project. But yeah, if you order a rug off of Boutique Rugs, be sure and use my coupon code HAPPY60 because that'll get you 60% off and free shipping, which is awesome. Their rugs are always a really great price. I'm excited to be partnering with Article in today's video. They sent over the Madeira Oak 71-inch desk for my office, also the oak file cabinet, and then also the small pendant lamp that we hung up earlier at the beginning of the video. We have quite a few pieces of Article furniture in our home, and every single piece has been amazing quality. There hasn't been one piece of furniture that we haven't been impressed with by the quality and just how well it's made and everything. And this is just such a beautiful desk, and I love that the back of it flips up so that you can hide your cords down in there, which has been so useful. So if you make an order from Article, they do ship almost anywhere in the USA and Canada for a flat rate of $49, and then you can get free shipping on orders above $999. This desk chair that we're putting together here, I purchased this from Wayfair. I'm sitting in it right now while I'm doing this voiceover, and it is so incredibly comfy. It's got a nice thick cushion on the bottom. It's like this velvet, really soft material. Desk chairs can be pretty pricey, so I was shopping around for a while trying to find something that was a good deal, and the price wasn't too bad on this considering how comfy it is and how good quality and everything, so I'll put the link for it down below. This curtain rod that Jalen's hanging up is from Walmart, as well as the clips, and then the curtains are from Amazon. They're the same ones that I have in our master bedroom. They're just like the perfect off-white curtain, and they're a great price. They come in a 2-pack off of Amazon. I'll have the links for everything that I can down below. Everything else that I added to this room I already had on hand, and this tree over here in the corner is just there temporarily until the olive tree comes in the mail that I'm ordering. I think that'll look a lot better here. It's a little bit lighter of a color and it'll pop more off of the accent wall. I'll put a picture of what that looks like here on the screen. So now it's time for the best part of the video, and that is the before and the after. I hope that you enjoyed this room transformation. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in a couple days with a brand new video. Bye!